Nancy's in Milwaukee now ahead of the debate. How much work does Bernie Sanders need to do at this point to appeal to minorities, which political experts say, look, he's got an uphill battle?
Yeah, I think it's an open question, Contessa, because he really hasn't had to do battle for them before. So, yes, he's down in the polls in South Carolina, for instance, but that was before he nearly tied Hillary Clinton in Iowa and before he had a 22-point victory in New Hampshire. So that kind of momentum can really change the playing field. Beyond that, there are a lot of voters in South Carolina and Nevada who are kind of tuning into this race for the first time and hearing Bernie Sanders' message for the first time. So it could be that they hear it and they hear what he's saying about income inequality and about incarceration rates and about education and making college tuition free. And it could be that they love that message. The only question is whether he can reach enough of those voters in time. Nevada, after all, holds its caucuses this weekend.
If it is unclear how Bernie Sanders will do with people of color, with voters of color, it is clear that Hillary Clinton has some major work to do when it comes to young people. And when you're on a debate stage and you have the potential for a national audience, look, you get another set of eyeballs. But on PBS, a political debate, how much is that going to matter to the young people with whom Hillary Clinton needs to shore up some support?
She needs to shore up support with young people. And in a way, that reflects on what could be her challenge with young minorities as well. Everybody talks about how the Clintons have these deep ties to the African-American community, for instance, in South Carolina. And that is true. However, there are a lot of younger African-American voters who don't necessarily have those relationships, who don't remember what the Clintons did for African-Americans back in the 90s or the relationships that they had back then. It's kind of the same as younger voters overall who really, don't have as much of a connection with the Clinton reputation from the 1990s, the economy back then, but who like what they're hearing from Bernie Sanders now. We've been asking the Clinton campaign, okay, so what does she do to relate better to young voters, to inspire them, and to women as well? And so far, we haven't really gotten an answer. They know that they need to retool their message, but they know they need to remain true to who she is. She's not going to, be a hipster millennial. That's not who Hillary Clinton is. And so they've got to figure out a way to sort of cater her message to younger voters without, trying to change her identity.
Nancy, Bernie Sanders is not a hipster millennial either, but he appeals to young people. Yesterday, one of the reporters in New Hampshire said to me, I'm out here and I'm talking to people, and they think Bernie Sanders is new. He's not new to politics, but he's new to them, where the Clintons have a long history, a storied history. And what's really remarkable here is that I talked to two Clinton campaign staffers on the primary day in New Hampshire, and I asked them that same question. How do you learn? Where do you go to try and make yourself relevant to young voters? And what they said is, well, look, where she stands on the issues should be relevant. She's fighting for issues that young women should care about, that matter to them. My sense is, again, having been a young woman just recently, young women don't realize that there's anything unequal about the world they live in. They feel like they are equal to the guys standing next to them. So they don't, when you talk about wage inequality, when it comes to gender, they don't realize that that's an issue that should matter to them.
Right. Right. Well, as someone who was also a young woman just a couple of days ago, I can tell you that women have said, not just young women either, older women as well have told me out on the campaign trail, I don't know that gender should be a factor. It's almost like Hillary Clinton was a victim of her own success in some ways because she did garner those 18 million cracks in the glass ceiling, as she put it 8 years ago. The novelty of a major woman presidential candidate has kind of worn off. That was her 8 years ago. It doesn't seem as unique this time. And so she needs to figure out a way to kind of communicate to all those women who flocked to her 8 years ago, hey, I need you at my side again, without making them feel like they're obligated. There were a lot of younger women that I spoke to in New Hampshire who said, I don't, like being told by Madeleine Albright or anyone else that I have to vote for the woman candidate. On the flip side, Bernie Sanders has a lot of advantages. As you pointed out, he's new. He's not new to politics, but he's new to a lot of young voters nationally, and they like that. And he is the more liberal candidate, and younger voters tend to be more liberal. So, that's a challenge for Hillary Clinton that she had back in 2008 when Barack Obama was to her left. So yes, Barack Obama and Bernie Sanders, also sort of were besting her on kind of that authenticity measure. When you don't have to kind of straddle a middle ground, that can really help you come across as authentic. But also, when you're a left-leaning candidate in a Democratic primary, that's going to give you a big boost.
Nancy Cordes in Milwaukee. Nancy, thank you.